Pit stops. Elliott Sadler is the leader for now. When it all cycles back out, Tony Stewart will hold the top spot once again. Caution is out for the third time in the Tropicana 400, just past halfway in the race. Last week's winner is not going to have a good result today.
We do believe that he lost an engine going down in the corner. Well, I'm kind of convinced of it now as I see the replay. Smoke out the exhaust pipe, always bad news.
I get recalled. Easy. The caution is out. You're in second place. The 30 car ahead of you is the leader. The 30 car ahead of you is the leader. Watch the 20 coming from behind trying to get his lap back.
Well, 20 doesn't have to get his lap back because he is on the lead lap. The caution has helped some, like Mark Martin and Jeff Green. It's gotten them onto the lead lap. Some others, like Joe Nemechek, caution combined with his pit road problems earlier, he's gotten trapped a lap down. Here they come. Start our pit stop coverage with Dave Burns.
Jeff Green, the leader, comes in. He will take on 4 tires. No adjustments. The car has been improving since that last pit stop, and Jeff really didn't want him to do much to it at all. Damage still on the car shows. Marty Snyder.
Tony Stewart is in. He did not like the last adjustment they made, so they took it out. Jeff Gooch Patterson, the gas man, did that. This helped Stewart because he would have had to have stopped 2 more times. Now he only has to stop 1 more time. To Bill Weber.
Mark Martin is already down pit road. This was a huge break for this team. Remember, Mark ran out of gas earlier in the race. This got them back in position to contend for the lead and the win. He almost hit the 30 car leaving pit road.
Yeah, not only got him
So
back
we're under caution after 139 laps at the Tropicana 400 at the Chicagoland Speedway in Illinois.
We have a developing situation on the championship leader, Sterling Marlin. No, there does not appear to be anything wrong with his car, but all of a sudden he's a lap down. Marty, what's going on down there on pit road?
Well, what happened, Alan, they came in that time for fuel only, and you can see the car pitting. It went over the line. They serviced the car, putting fuel in, and it was over the line. When they serviced it, they had to come down pit road, and they got a penalty after that the next lap. That will put them way back in the field.
See, this time when they came in for the penalty, the team decided to go ahead and change 4 tires. What they're talking about was the lap before when he stopped for fuel only, he was over the line.
So Sterling is being shown back in 27th place, 1 lap down, and that's a big boost to Mark Martin, who is second in the championship, who is running in 8th position at the moment. Got a big shuffle in the running order. Some guys did not pit under the yellow flag. We'll reset it all for you before the green after this. Back at Chicagoland Speedway, time for our singular call to the pits. A further update on what's going on with Sterling Marlin. We go back to Marty Snyder.
Well, Alan, let's show you the actual pit stop from Sterling's pit camera from the team and what they record. You can see the stop happening. You can see the official right there saying, go back, go back. They are over the line. That's the line. They serviced the car anyway while it was over the line, and that is a penalty. You cannot service the car while it's over the line, and they continue to service the car even though it was beyond the front line of their pit stall. That's why they got the penalty, and that's why the penalty was served on pit road.
So Sterling goes a lap down.
Man, oh man, that was tough. And that, I mean, Mark Martin, meanwhile, the closest competitor currently in the stand is Mark Martin, just 12 points behind. You know, the worst part about it, Sterling Marlin today has probably run better than Mark Martin. God, what a tough break.
Cleanup continues here at Chicagoland Speedway, so let's take a break. We'll come back for the restart in the Tropicana 400.
Chicagoland Speedway and the Tropicana 400 after 145 laps with Dale Earnhardt Jr., the leader, as we remain under caution. 75,000 fans have seats here at the Tropicana 400, but they had to leave home early to get there. That means they missed the Discover Card countdown to green, and that means they missed all this. Is there a clear definition in the rule book that maintains how NASCAR governs the end of the race?
No, there's not.
Do you think there should be a zero tolerance policy in post-race inspection?
Well, how do you penalize a guy for having a spring that's settled?
Well, you better find a spring that doesn't collapse.
I think the current policy is reasonable.
This is
is my trophy. I can give it to who I choose. Robbie Reiser, the first Golden Benny Award to you and the DeWalt crew. By the way, guys, I still got $700 for that 13-second challenge. You guys want this money or not? Here a minute.
And we'll be back next week with the Discover Card Countdown to Green from the New Hampshire International Speedway at Loudon on TNT. Remember, if you miss the Countdown to Green, you start the race a lap down. And Benny, there was a lot of news going on this week and a lot of stuff happening on that show today.
There really was, Bill. As a matter of fact, this week, the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson was fined. His crew chief, Chad Knaus, was fined $25,000. They were also fined 25 driver points and 25 owner points. The violation, they had a bolt mounted in the rear trailing arm in the wrong spot. This is the right trailing arm. They had moved this bolt forward that holds the front of the trailing arm 5/16 of an inch forward, trying to get some bow in this rear spring at Daytona. This is the trailing arm, hooks up here, goes back in the rear housing, sits on top of it. 5/16 of an inch. Guys, is that worth $25,000, you think?
Is it worth 25 points? Is the question, but obviously the thought on NASCAR's part, in my conversation with Jim Hunter, NASCAR's Vice President of Communications earlier this weekend, was an innovation, we'll call it, that Chad Knaus did that was purely designed to enhance the performance of their car at Daytona. It was a pre-race violation. They found it before the race. And so they felt that that was worth the deterrent of throwing the points in there. Napa Field summary. A lot of lead changes because we've had a lot of green flag pit stops in the race. That's helped bump that number up. 3 caution flags. The only car out of the race so far, Michael Waltrip, who has just gone to the garage. Stuart Kirby and Jeremy Mayfield now behind the wall. Mayfield's team working on a rear end gear that has burned up in their Dodge. Now, this is one of those funny restarts where the leader is not the first car on the track. The front row cars you see there, Bob Labonte and Dave Blaney, plus the black car there, Kyle Petty, the 45, the black and red car, they are on the tail end of the lead lap. The leader is Dale Earnhardt Jr., red car outside lane. Those 3 drivers chose not to pit under this caution. They stayed out behind the pace car when everybody else came in and cycled them around to being basically a mile and a half behind leader Dale Earnhardt Jr.
The car that just got back on the lead lap looked like Ricky Rudd was the 3rd car on the screen right there.
Yep. So the key moment for all these guys in the race is right now. Those guys in front of Earnhardt Jr., they've got to stay out in front of him and hope a caution comes out quick.
And here comes Junior on the inside of Kyle Petty, trying to put that sprint Dodge a lap down. Looks like he's going to do it. And Ryan Newman, pole sitter. Looks like he has his car adjusted back running well.
Now more information on Junior, because Dale Jr., Ryan Newman, Elliott Sadler, and Matt Kenseth did not pit under that caution. That's why they assumed the lead. And Tony Stewart is back in 8th spot right now.
And there we see Tony trying to get by Rusty Wallace. And there's a 25 car. Joe Nemechek has his car back running and running well, but a lap down because of running out of fuel, having to coast almost all the way around the racetrack.
So we got this all straight. We got guys on the tail end of the lead lap, guys that didn't pit, other guys that pitted. A strategy gem unfolding today.
I understand it perfectly.
There you go.
That means I've been here way too long.
Bobby Labonte's been overtaken by the leader Dale Jr., so he's been put back a lap down. You watch Tony Stewart, who's dominated the middle miles of this race, caught back in traffic. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads Ryan Newman, Elliott Sadler, Matt Kenseth, and Dale Jarrett. 150 laps are complete of 267 that make up today's race.
NBC's coverage of the Tropicana 400 is brought to you by Visa, the official card of NASCAR. By Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By Pep Boys, help for your car is just a Pep Boys away. Pep Boys, we're car people. By DuPont, bringing you the miracles of science for 200 years. And by McDonald's.
Looking down on the Chicagoland Speedway, courtesy of the U.S. Army, an Army of one. The Tropicana 400 is at the 157 lap complete mark. Another 10 laps around will be 250 miles in. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the leader. Third time today he's been out in front. He's got a second and a half on Ryan Newman with Matt Kenseth, Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Gordon rounding out the top 5. Tough sledding for Robbie Gordon here just a moment ago. Robbie running back in 14th place right now, 11 seconds behind the leader, but they are checking the right side for damage.
Comes off turn 2, goes up to the racetrack, hard on the throttle, and a hard wall. And we know it hit it because we can see the tire rubber, the rubber on the wall. Doggone these white walls.
I think that was just classic, just getting the right side tires in that gray stuff. Lost grip. You're drifting up the racetrack anyway. Once you hit those marbles, the only thing that can stop you is the wall.
Ken Schrader's gone to the garage. Engine failure reported. His car is out of the race.
And Jeff Burton slowed a moment ago like he lost a cylinder or something, but he still is on the racetrack.
Kevin Harvick, the defending winner of this race, having a decent day. He's up in 13th place now after starting back in 32nd, Bill Weber.
Absolutely, Alan, and decent days for Richard Childress Racing this year have been few and far between. In fact, Robbie hitting the wall, a classic example of how their season has gone. Next week on the Countdown to Green, we will profile Richard Childress Racing. Yesterday, we talked to Kevin Harvick about coming here to Chicago and hopefully turning his season around.
We came here and did the tire test, and the car was really good when we unloaded it. The tire test, it was good when we unloaded it this weekend. So it's I wouldn't be at all surprised if we won this weekend.
And here's one reason Kevin Harvick might go to victory lane. When they did the tire test, they found out that these sticker tires here are good. But on longer runs, scuff tires that have been run around the track maybe just say once in practice, are much better. You scuff them up, they get tougher. He found out they're better in the long run. That's the news up and down pit road. You want scuffed tires if it's going to stay green. They say tire tests shouldn't count as a real test, but if you're the guy doing the tire test, Benny, it's a huge advantage.
All these guys are just begging Goodyear, let me do the tire testing, because you're right. They get a test of the speedway that's free. NASCAR only allows these teams to test, I think it's 7 times per year. When you go to the racetrack and test for Goodyear, it doesn't count against you. So Kevin Harvick's team this year could have 8 tests.
And again, Harvick on the lead lap back in 13th place. Dale Jarrett trying to get 7th spot away from Elliott Sadler. Jarrett in the 88, Sadler in the 21.
Going to have to work for it, but he got it. Hit it the hard way on the outside.
Yep.
Although Elliott's not having any of it.
He made the pass and got in turn 3 a little bit too hard, drifted up the racetrack, and Elliott goes back by.
Remember, Elliott did not pit on that last caution, so he's out there on older tires, but only 5 laps older. He had just stopped before the caution flag came out, so there was nothing to lose for him staying on the racetrack, and certainly everything to gain with the track position. Matt, what you got?
Well, Alan, it's certainly been a tough day for both Burton brothers. Ward had trouble early. Now Jeff reports into his crew chief Frank Stoddard. I've lost a cylinder. I'm going to back off and try to ride and make this thing last as long as I can. His chances for victory gone for the day.
Saw a lot of attrition in yesterday's NASCAR Busch Series race. Combination of mechanical failures and a lot of accidents, but so far it's been a fairly clean race here today. Only 3 caution flags. 2 of those for debris, 1 for a single car spin down the front straightaway.